This week, I've been driving the MG HS Plus EV Essence, and it's a smart-looking hybrid medium SUV that has stacks of features and a price point that should make you swoon. It competes against heavyweights like the Toyota RAV4, Ford Escape, and even the newer kid on the block, the Haval H6. It's got all the goods on paper, but what's it like for real-life performance? Stay watching to find out. There are only two models in the HS Plus EV lineup, and this, the Essence, is top dog. It has a very healthy price tag that places it as one of the most affordable options compared to the rivals. Only the Haval H6 beats it, and admittedly it is by a fair chunk of change, almost $10,000. With how it's been styled and stuffed, you definitely feel like your money is working for you here, especially with features like electric and heated front seats, a massive panoramic sunroof, as well as leather accented trims throughout. The full specs are in my written review at carsguide.com.au if you want more info. The cabin space is really roomy. I've got plenty of headroom and legroom in both rows. What enhances this feeling is the massive panoramic sunroof. It really makes it feel airy and light in here. The front sport seats are very comfortable, but the passenger side does miss out on additional lumbar support. Because they are sport seats, the headrests are fixed, so taller passengers might not be able to get as comfortable as what they could in another seat. Something to note that my passengers talked to me about was that you kind of feel like you're perched up and forward in these seats. Being able to tilt them back would have been far more comfortable for a longer journey. The individual storage options are pretty good up front, with a cooled middle console, glove box, and the usual drink holders. However, I did miss having a dedicated phone utility tray where the USB ports are, mainly because it does have wide Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. However, there is a dedicated little phone pocket next to the cup holders. The 10.1-inch touchscreen multimedia system is well positioned and looks good, but it can get a little bit laggy at times. It's great that it has built-in satellite navigation system, but I would have liked to have had a dedicated button for the heated seats function. Instead, you have to access the menu, which is a little bit fiddly when you're on the go. The 12.3-inch digital instrument panel looks really nice, but isn't super customizable. The charging options aren't too bad, with two USB-A ports and a 12-volt port, but I did miss having a wireless charging pad, as well as a USB-C port, which would have provided faster charging times. The back seat feels really well cushioned, but like other SUVs, you can kind of feel like your knees are sort of popped up. So taller passengers might feel like they're folding themselves in, but other than that, it's very comfortable back here. Individual storage is about average for this size car, with map pockets, the usual drink bottles, and cup holders in this fold-down armrest. Other amenities are a little bit slim for the top model, but I do like that there are directional air vents and two USB-A ports back here. My 6-year-old also found this very easy to get in and out of, which is always a plus. And if you do have a kid or two, you'll be happy to know that there are ISOFIX child seat mounts on the outboard seats, plus 3 top tethers, but 2 seats are going to fit best. Front passenger space may be encroached upon if you do fit a 0 to 4 rearward facing child seat though. This has a decently sized boot space for the class at 451 litres. You can bump that up to 1,275 litres if you pop that back row down. Underneath the floor, you have a little bit of space for the puncture repair kit for the tyres, as well as the at-home charger. But other than that, what you see is what you get. Now, it does have a power tailgate, and I always like those, but this one was a little bit glitchy this week and did stop midway a few times. This has a 1.5-litre 4-cylinder turbo petrol hybrid engine with a maximum combined power output of 189 kilowatts and 370 newton meters worth of torque. The power distribution is really good in this, and you're going to be surprised by how much grunt this actually has. This is a front-wheel drive and has a 10-speed auto transmission, but I've actually found it to be a bit clunky this week. It's a bit slow shifting gears at lower speeds, which isn't awesome. This also has a lithium-ion battery with a 16.6 kilowatt capacity and a Type 2 charging port. On a 7 kilowatt system, you should be able to get to a full charge in roughly 5 hours. I've been pleasantly surprised by the overall driving experience in this. It's got plenty of power that you feel very confident when you have to overtake or get up to speed on the open road. And despite slower gear changing, it's very, very smooth to handle. The suspension feels very well cushioned and steering quite responsive. So you do feel like when you're tackling a winding road, you don't get a lot of roll and you feel like you're very firmly tucked into your lane. The cabin is quiet even at higher speeds. Occasionally you get a bit of a whine, I don't know if you ever heard that just then, when the gears change at lower speeds. Generally speaking, this is firmly placed in its lane, but if you are on a very windy highway, it can sometimes move about a little bit too much for my liking. The regen braking in this isn't customizable, but it does have quite a strong physical presence. And to give you an indication of its performance, when I was going down a mountain, I ended up gaining 5% on that battery, which was pretty good. And also, despite driving over 500 kilometers this week, I only popped it on charge when it got to 17%, so it's not bad at all. You've got really good visibility in this. The windows are nice and large, and none of the pillars are particularly chunky. The only thing I'll note is that the blind spot monitor light and position that flashes when it's in use isn't very large, and it's kind of a blink and you'll miss it. The size of this means that it's not difficult at all to park, and I've actually really enjoyed hitting even small car parks in this. However, the 360-degree view camera, while certainly clear, it sort of shudders and jumps around a bit with the camera image, almost as if there's a bad camera feed connection. I would have preferred to have seen some front parking sensors as well, because this only has rear. So it has nice road manners, but what about the hybrid efficiency? The official combined fuel cycle is 1.7 litres per 100 kilometres. My real world usage came to 6.6 litres, which is still pretty good and respectable for a hybrid, but I did do quite a lot of open road driving this week. The safety features are pretty good on the HS, and I do like that this comes with a 360-degree view camera, but like I've mentioned, I don't like it how the image sometimes shudders while in use. The HS Plus EV hasn't been assessed by ANCAP and is unrated, but its fuel-based sibling did achieve a 5-star rating in 2019. It only has 6 airbags, which is a little bit low for an SUV, but the curtain airbags do cover the back row. The full safety specs are in my written review at carsguide.com.au if you want more info. The ongoing costs for this are great. It comes with a 7-year unlimited kilometre warranty, which also includes the hybrid battery. It also comes with a 7-year cap price servicing plan, and services average just $426, which is very competitive for the class. Servicing intervals are every 12 months or 10,000 kilometres, whichever occurs first, which is fine, but if you do clock a lot of Ks on your car every year, that could get a little bit annoying. The MG HS Plus EV Essence is a well-specified medium SUV that should suit a lot of people. I like how it looks and how practical the use of space is inside, but I do feel like the tech needs to be improved upon. It's not always seamless to use, and in this day and age, tech is very important. Still, with those ongoing costs and that price point, it's pretty hard to beat, so this earns a 7 out of 10 from me. The full review is at carsguide.com.au if you want more information, and I'll see you next week.